Well, welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, and let's see what the CEO of the Pokemon Company has to say about Pokemon on the Nintendo Switch. So this is coming from the Bloomberg interview that was also talking about Pokemon Go. Well, there's a nice little bit right here, new Pokemon game for Switch. In June, Ishihara revealed that there was a role-playing Pokemon game under development for the Switch. A 16-second clip of the announcement caused Nintendo's stock price to jump as much as 3% in US trading as investors bet the new title will boost Switch sales. Ishihara shared a few more details about the game, which is set to be released in 2018 or later. I actually did not know about that it caused the stock price to jump 3%. Like, Pokemon Go itself also caused Nintendo stock to skyrocket, but then also fall down because then people realize, wait, Nintendo just has partial stake in Pokemon and doesn't, like, completely own Pokemon. So the 16-second clip, that was the one where you're just kind of doodling and you looked really sad, like, yeah, guys, we have a Pokemon Switch game, and don't be upset about Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Now, that was pretty tense right there, but let's see what he has to say about it. With the Switch, we see there's a chance to create Pokemon that goes deeper with a higher level of expression. As a result, that makes it an extremely important platform. My thoughts right there are, is this where we finally get Pokemon following you? You know, we can go deeper with a higher level expression. I think that's going to be something, because one of the big things before we had the reveal of Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is that with quote-unquote Pokemon Stars or whatever is coming to the Nintendo Switch for Pokemon, people were like, wait a second, like that has a lot more hardware capabilities. It's going to be it's going to be able to perform stronger. So that means we can have a larger game, we can have more in-depth environment, and that also gives us the processing capabilities of having a Pokemon follow you the entire time as well. So that's pretty good. It's an extremely important platform to them, which is good to see. Right now, we're using 7 to 8 inch screens, but on a high-definition TV can express a whole different world through graphics and sound. So it looks like they're actually going for like a crazy HD experience in Pokemon. Yeah, we have a 7 to 8 inch screen for Pokemon. What can you do with that? Don't have to make it as detailed. Looks a little pixely, so that's gonna be good. But now I'm wondering, like, are they going to go for that? Are they going to go for the Monster Hunter Legend of Zelda graphics in Pokemon? I mean, I was looking at Battle Revolution. For its time when Battle Revolution came out, I didn't think Pokemon could look so good in 3D. And now when it comes to Nintendo Switch, that's many years ahead. That's generations ahead console-wise. So I'm wondering how much work and time is going, how long they've been developing this game as well. Because yeah, for a game to come out like Breath of the Wild on launch for Nintendo Switch, you know, they have to have a lot of like the tools and kits to develop for that. So with the Pokemon game coming out a year later, actually over a year and a half after the launch of the Nintendo Switch, could be promising that there's going to be a lot of effort and development time put into it. Until now, games are made Until now, games were made as one for one person, but now you can go home and play with everyone. So how do we tackle these themes, and how do we make sure it's not complicated? Are they actually going to try to implement two-player with this? Like how you just kind of pull the controllers out of the Switch and then do like, are there going to be little mini games involved like that? That'd be actually pretty cool if they could program like Pokemon Stadium level stuff inside of the Nintendo Switch. I think it's possible. That'd be awkward though, because then that means like you'd have to have separate teams or something, and then you get to like I don't know. I feel like with the Nintendo Switch, just so all the hackers and cheaters can stop breaking the game, you know, it feels like there needs to be some kind of already registered preset Pokemon that you can use in competitive play, but then that kills off like 90% of what Pokemon's about. Pokemon isn't about competitive. It isn't only about battling. It's about being a Pokemon trainer. So that's where I think a lot of the speculation comes in. Like, what are they going to do to handle the hacking issue in Pokemon? Because I feel by the time we hit late 2018 and maybe even later, you know, released in 2018 or later, if the game has any delays, yeah, it's just going to be more set back, and then I feel that Nintendo Switch could have some hacking problems by that point, which could be a big problem if they're kind of relying on the security of the Nintendo Switch to try to keep out as much hacking when it comes to Pokemon as possible. I can't say that we'll release new accessories, but I'd like to think of the possibility. I don't know what they could do for accessories on Nintendo Switch. I'm just kind of interested in like those multiple save files, because you have that with Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is technically just single player. You know, you only have the one, but you can create a new user on your Nintendo Switch. They can play a new save file. So I'm really hoping that that gives us multiple save file options, and they'll have to explore that. Unlike smartphones, Switch is not a game device that assumes there's constant network connectivity, so from our perspective, it's really not that different from DS or 3DS in terms of connectivity, so it seems like they already have a good foundation right there. I think that the battling works just fine. That I'd imagine there's going to be a new system well beyond like the Festival Plaza and stuff. And it doesn't seem like we have any information if it's going to be a new generation, a new Pokemon experience, or if we're actually getting Diamond Pearl remakes at this point. So that's something to consider. And then we also had a little bit extra. This is coming from Nintendo Everything. Pokemon CEO told Nintendo that Switch would not be, or wouldn't be successful before it launched. So I told Nintendo that Switch wouldn't be a success before it went on sale because I thought in the age of the smartphone, no one would carry out a game console. It's obvious I was wrong. I came to realize the key to a successful game is quite simple. Software with absolute quality leads sales of hardware. Playing style can be flexible if the software is attractive enough. Currently, it's popular among the early adopters, but there needs to be one more step to attract a wider audience. I see more potential in the Switch, but one shouldn't overestimate its potential. That's actually really interesting because when you have the president of Pokemon showing hesitation to a new console that they're developing for, I don't really know what it says. It seems like they really want to take that smartphone aspect, and we can see that a lot. Pokemon Go, massive success. Also with like Magikarp Jump, a lot of people are wasting a lot of time just doing silly little things on Magikarp Jump. There's also Pokemon, I can't believe, like there's so many. You have Pokemon Duel, you also have Pokemon Shuffle, and even Camp Pokemon for like the kids and stuff. So the Pokemon Company is going pretty big when it comes to smartphones recently and like all the mobile app games. And I guess that you can see why now, because the president of Pokemon, he's looking at it like this is a way more successful, way more interactive kind of platform that we want to bring Pokemon to. And I think that this is it. Yeah, it's obvious I was wrong. Came to realize that a successful game is quite simple. Software with absolute quality leads sales of hardware. I think that's with what happened with Breath of the Wild. Like Breath of the Wild, one of the greatest Legend of Zelda titles ever. Pretty much everyone that has a Nintendo Switch bought it for Breath of the Wild or something like that. So I feel that the Pokemon Company, they need to see that they need to be that next step. That for Pokemon X and Y, a lot of 3DSs were sold. You know, they introduced the 2DS pretty much just so more people could get a more affordable 3DS and then play Pokemon X and Y on it. So they need to go big. They need to go Breath of the Wild big. That way they can move sales for the Nintendo Switch, which is why the stock jumped at 3%, because yeah, that seems like a very real possibility with the Nintendo Switch and a Pokemon game on it. So hopefully they can respect that. Like, yeah, they need to just outperform when it comes to the software that they're going to be developing for the game, and then just kind of see that as the route to success for the Nintendo Switch. That's what I'm really looking forward to. Then we can just go into the future, augmented reality, and the future of Pokemon. Now, this is where it gets crazy. With current AR, even if you say Pikachu is there, no one really thinks that. But that reality is just one step away. For example, you'll be able to find Pikachu, and it can sense this table and then jump up on it. You can see the shadow on the table, and then it faces you and starts talking to you. We will see the birth of this reality that is another step up from current Pokemon Go. I've only mentioned the visual aspect. We can add haptic and rumble technology to that. That's crazy. Because, yeah, like, the Pokemon Company, they want the realest Pokemon experience. And Pokemon Go, I've already considered that, like, the dream Pokemon experience that we've wanted for games as a kid. But next step is, yeah, virtual reality. If we can actually bring a real Pokemon experience, if you can feel like that Pokemon is real in front of you. And it seems like over at Game Freak, they want that to happen as technology emerges. And I can't wait to see where it goes. Like, the future is still really weird when it comes to like augmented reality and virtual reality, and then like maybe we get into hologram and stuff. You know, we don't know how long it's gonna be. That discovery could be years away, or it could still be decades away as we try to figure out. Because with augmented reality, you know, when it came to VR, we watched Oculus, everyone was getting super hyped for Oculus, and then the Oculus came out and people weren't really like it kind of dropped off. You know, I remember 2 years ago I was at PAX, I'm like, this is the future, this is where we get to like the greatest next step, but it hasn't really adopted yet. We haven't seen everyone kind of fall into that part yet, so it seems like VR is still a little bit away, and then coming into like the next stage with making it real, that's gonna be crazy. Voice-activated assistants are increasing, whether it's Google Home, Amazon, or Apple HomePod. There are many of them, and we would see these dialogue-based devices give birth to a new form of entertainment. Switch is just one of the possible forms. I think we'll open up more possibilities from all these platforms. Playing in a more realistic way should be possible. I think that's also what they mean with like the rumble and the interactivity of the Switch. That, you know, you can do a lot of interesting things with the Switch that are just beyond a regular console, and then it being portable is more useful for that. So I'm wondering if the idea is, you know, you have like your Google Home. throw down your Google Home, and then that's where maybe it has like the shadow for Pikachu, or that's where you can kind of like interact with the Google Home, or maybe Pokemon or Nintendo makes their own device that brings the game to you. And that seems like some kind of crazy gimmick that Nintendo would go for. You know, with the Wii, they wanted that you actually have like the motion controls that get picked up by the console itself. With the Wii U, you have more tilts and stuff like that, and then you have an iPad. You know, you have the mobile device that interacts with the console that can then be played separately while everyone else watches TV and stuff. So it seems like Nintendo, they really want to expand inside the home and what can be possible. As for how long it's going to take, I think that's the real mystery right here is, you know, when's the technology going to come up? And at the same time, smartphones, still relatively new invention. So yeah, like technology, it has like crazy expansion. I'm wondering how much further that's going to go with gaming, because right now it just seems like it's more graphics oriented, it's more resolution oriented, it's more about making it affordable and stuff, because now we're getting like 4K accessibility to a lot of people, that you can build a $2,000 computer these days and be set for a very long time and play every game on. You don't even need to. For 800 bucks, you can make a very competent gaming rig these days. So I'm wondering, like, gameplay seems to be right now trying to streamline itself, you know, bringing very fancy graphics, very good gameplay, bringing that whole PC thing in at a more affordable price than what we've seen in the past. I'm wondering, like, where are the other advancements? Where's that other technology going right now? So I think that that's one thing that might be a little bit optimistic, but I can't wait to see what happens. You know, for all we know, 10 years from now, this could be a possibility. 5 years from now, it could be a possibility, or maybe it could just be, you know, a couple more generations of console away. I'm really interested in seeing where that goes. So yeah, so the talk doesn't seem like we're getting anything crazy new about the Nintendo Switch, but there is talks about it, which is crazy. Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon isn't even out right now, and they're still talking about the inspiration. They're talking about what they want for the Nintendo Switch. I mean, for already getting information well over a year in advance, that's like, I think that's like the soonest we've ever gotten information about a Pokemon game, right? So they want to keep tabs with us. They want to keep us through this development process, which is going to be really interesting to watch. So I can't wait to see what kind of scale this game is. I can't wait for an announcement. Are they going to treat this, you know, February, boom. Yeah, we're doing this. Maybe it'll take a year. Maybe it'll be 2019, winter, spring. I don't know. I don't know when it's going to be coming out, but that is something interesting to watch, as like we just get all of this early information, and then Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon comes out. I wonder if they have an expected lifetime. Like if they say, alright, Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, that game's gonna last about 4 months. We'll drop the news after that 4-month period. We'll get everyone to just kind of hold on to Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon as we transition to the Switch. Hopefully Switch availability becomes really good, so everyone that wants a Switch can get one for the new Pokemon game. Because yeah, I don't think the Switch is having a problem selling consoles. They're all sold out. That's the problem. And we'll see what that means as we go into this new Pokemon game. So if you guys enjoy the video, hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.